What's up everybody, CP, welcome back to yet another video. So in this video we are going to learn about what is UI design, what is UX design, and what is the difference between UI and UX. UI design and UX design are two of the most often confused and conflicted terms in the web and app design, and understandably so. They are usually placed together in a single term, like UI UX design. And the view from surface, they seems to be describing the same thing. It's often hard to find the solid description of the two that descend too far into jargon. But fear not. By the end of this video, you will have a good understanding of what differentiates them and how they relate to each other. So let's dive in. So first thing we are going to discuss is that what is UI design. The UI in UI design stands for user interface. The user interface is the graphical layout of an application. It consists of the button user click on, the text they read, the image, slider, text entry field, and all of the rest of the item user interacts with. This includes screen layout, transition, interface animation, and every single micro interaction must all be designed. This job falls to UI designer. They decide what application is going to look like. They have to choose color scheme, button shape, the width of the lines, and the fonts used for text. UI designers create the look and the feel of an application's user interface. UI designers are graphic designers. They are concerned with aesthetics. It's up to them to make sure the application interface is attractive, visually stimulating, and tempted appropriately to match the purpose. And they need to make sure every single visual element feel united both aesthetic and in purpose. So the next thing is, what is UX design? UX stands for user experience. A user experience of the app is determined by how they interact with it. Is the experience smooth or intuitive or chunky or confusing? Does navigating the app feel logical or does it feel confusing? Does interacting with app give people to sense they're efficiently accomplishing the task they set or to achieve, or does it feel like a struggle? User experience is determined by how easy or difficult it is to interact with the user interface element that the UI designer have created. So UX designer also concur with application user interface, and this is why people get confused about difference between the two. But whereas UI designer are tasked with deciding how the user interface will look, UX designer are in the charge of determining how the user interface operates. They determine the structure of the interface and the functionality, how it is organized and how all the parts relate to one another. In short, they design how the interface works. If it works well and feels seamless, the user will have good experience. But if navigation is complicated, then a lousy user experience is likely. UX designers work to avoid the second scenario. There are also certain amount of interactive analysis involved in UX design. UX designers will create wireframe rendering of their interface interaction and get user feedback. They will interact this into their design. It is important for UX designer to have holistic understanding of how user prefers to interact with their application. So how they work together. So UX design decide how the user interface works while the UI designer decide how the user interface looks. This is a very collaborative process and the two design teams tend to work closely together. As the UX team is working out the flow of the app, how all the buttons navigating you through your task, and how the interface efficiently serves up to information user needs. The UI team is working on how all these interface element will appear on the screen. Let's say at some points in the design process, it decided that extra buttons need to be added to a given screen. This will change how the buttons will need to organize and could require changing their shape and size. The UX team would determine the best way to lay out the button while the UI teams adapt their design to fit the new layout. Constant communication and collaboration between UI UX designer help to assure that the final user interface look as good as it can, while also operating efficiently and intuitively. There are some research keys, like research is vital for both UI and UX designer. It's important for both discipline to gather as much good information as possible to assist them in crafting appropriate design, and both follows a similar approach. Both will research what user wants, what they expect from application of the sort of being developed. This research is often interactive, involves usability session, where real user will interact with scaled version of certain functionality or visual design being tested on determine whether the design are moving down the proper path. Feedback is integrated with each interaction. This process involves gathering low fidelity prototypes like wireframes rendering of the interface element in order to gauge a user response strictly to functionality being tested. This can also involve fast visual prototype of different possible versions of the look and feel of the interface to determine which one user prefers. In all cases, research helps guide to step designers take as they build their contribution. However, the information UI and UX designer are looking for is very different. So this is all about what is UI design, what is UX design, and what is the difference between them. And we also discussed some research keys. So that's it for today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one.